used to live with you, and you act like it's nothing.
I am not acting like that.
This is 45-year-old Roxanne Buck, who's trying to prove herself to be an innocent woman. She was the last person seen with her 21-year-old roommate, Michelle Johnson, just before Michelle was found dead in their own backyard. What drove this senseless act defied logic, and when the truth emerged, it left even seasoned detectives stunned.
Roxanne, it has to stop right now. The lies have to stop right now.
No.
You have to start talking to me. It's not about no.
I didn't kill Michelle.
On March 15, 2014, the Stowe Police Department in Ohio received a frantic call from Diane Johnson, who reported her daughter, Michelle, missing. Diane had left Stowe on March 12th to visit family in West Virginia and left Michelle with her roommate, Roxanne. Everything seemed normal until Michelle's last Facebook post at 12:06 p.m. on March 14th. Shortly after that post, it was as if Michelle had fallen off the face of the earth. With no news of communication from Michelle, it was clear that something had gone awfully wrong. Concerned, Diane contacted Roxanne, but she claimed not having seen Michelle either. However, when police arrived the next day, they discovered Michelle's body in a shed in Roxanne's backyard, hidden beneath an old tire and blanket. Determined to uncover the truth behind Michelle's disappearance, detectives turned their attention to Roxanne Buck, as she was the last person known to have seen Michelle alive.
When's the last time you saw Michelle?
Around 12:45 yesterday.
Last night, as in the morning, or 12:45?
More afternoon.
12:45 in the afternoon yesterday?
I know this because I was supposed to pick my friend up from work, and she called me and said that I didn't have to. So it's on the caller ID.
On the caller ID of the house?
Yeah. Okay. And I left shortly after because Michelle said she was having people over and asked me if I was working because I work at home. And I said no because she didn't want to. Yes.
What, do you have a...
American Medical Response. I work for.
Okay. Keeping in mind I'm old, and I'm just gonna make sure I got this all straight in my head. You last saw Michelle at the house on Maple Park about 12:45. You got a call about a ride.
Yeah, I was supposed to pick up my friend, and she called to say I didn't have to because her husband was coming to get her.
Okay.
So I was looking at the time, and Michelle said she was going to have people over, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll make myself scarce because I try to do that when she has people over, they're loud.
Okay, and so you left shortly after that?
Yes.
Okay, and where did you go?
I went to the park, and then I went to Barberton to see a friend.
Which park? In Stowe?
Yes.
Which one?
What's it called? You're driving towards Monroe Falls. And it's right before the bridge and the railroad tracks.
Is that Frust or something like that?
Yeah, it starts with a B. There's a farmer's market there.
Okay. And who did you go see in Barberton?
His name's Kiss.
Kiss?
It was only for a minute.
And
I don't know the exact address, but it's on Waterloo.
His nickname is Kiss?
Yeah. He's a rapper.
He's a rapper. You don't appear to be somebody into rap. Is he into rap music?
He was my ex-boyfriend's friend.
Okay. How can I get a hold of him to verify your information?
I have his phone number, but he won't want to call me.
Okay, I'm used to it.
Okay.
A lot of people don't like to call.
I was only there for a minute.
Okay.
Wow.
And I'm not even saying I'm going to call him. I'm just saying if it turns out down the road, we've got to verify his stories.
He's a dealer.
What is he dealing? Okay.
What began as a routine interview quickly escalated into a tense interrogation. From the start, Roxanne's vague timelines, shaky details, and unsettling calmness raised suspicions. Above all, she's a addict, and having a drug addict present at a murder scene is a glaring red flag.
Did you go there to use yesterday?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I was pretty much going to the park and stuff for.
About what time did you meet up with him?
It takes about... I went to the park and I did exercise.
Walked on the trail?
But I got to thinking, maybe at 1:30. I went to various parking lots.
And used them?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't want to sit too long.
All right, and when you came home, where was Michelle?
I didn't see her.
She wasn't home?
No.
And what time did you get home?
Well, I had to go to the emergency room.
Okay.
Because I use an aluminum can.
Yeah.
And sometimes you cut it open to get...
Sure.
And I cut myself on the can.
What hospital did you go to?
The 1 Hudson, Akron General.
Oh, right here in Stowe?
Yes.
Okay, so Stowe ER. What time do you think you were there?
Until 4 something.
Roxanne last spoke with Michelle at 12:45 p.m. on Friday, nearly 40 minutes after Michelle's last Facebook post. After that, Roxanne left the house and, during the 5 hours between 12:30 and 5 p.m., allegedly purchased more drugs. She also sustained injuries that were severe enough to require hospital stitches. While such behavior could be attributed to such a severe addict, Michelle's autopsy revealed something far more chilling. She had 32 stab wounds, likely inflicted by a knife. This alone casts a dark shadow over Roxanne, pointing to her as the prime suspect. However, until now, the detectives have withheld the news of Michelle's death. When they finally reveal it, her reaction is going to leave them shocked.
Let me see her at the hospital.
No. No, Michelle's dead. Now, they found her in a shed back there. Okay? We need to establish, again, your activity. Not because I think you did this. This is just standard operating procedure. Okay? Before I go any further, Roxanne, did you hurt Michelle?
No.
Okay. Do you know who did hurt Michelle?
No.
Do you know how she became hurt?
No. I haven't seen her since yesterday.
Okay. Does Michelle drive a car?
No.
She doesn't have a car of her own? Does she use her mom's car or anything like that?
But her mom's in West Virginia with the car.
Okay. Okay, that's one of the things they asked me to ask you.
Her mom's gonna be devastated. I was there all day. When?
I'm not sure. At first I've heard about it.
We need to call her mom.
Well, actually, her mom's the one who initiated the call to us because she was worried that she didn't come home. So she called us, so we went out to the local park. And
Yeah, we talked earlier. Me and her mom.
So Michelle's mom called us. We went out to the house, and that's where we found Michelle. All right. So, and this is another standard police question that we ask everybody. Is there anything that you told me that isn't true? Because right now it's really important.
I even told you the truth about the drugs.
I understand, and I appreciate it, Roxanne. But it's real important now. Everything has to be 100% truth. Okay, because if you don't tell truth, that makes you look bad. You understand?
Yes.
I mean, you watch the shows. You understand where I'm going with this. We don't want you.
The shows aren't real.
No, the shows aren't real, but there are some things that are true about them. It's real important that we only get the truth here. Okay? Is there anything that you told me earlier that isn't true?
No.
Okay. All right. We're going to have you write a statement. And I want from noon yesterday on. Okay? You were at your house. Where is it? Who was home? Who was there in the home with you? I'm paraphrasing you. Only you can tell your statement. But from what you're telling me, you got a phone call about 12:45. Who was that phone call from? Did they call on their cell? Did they call your cell? Just as many details. You can't have too many details.
When detectives reveal that Michelle had been found dead and was no longer just missing, Roxanne's reaction is unexpectedly calm. It almost seems as if she had known about Michelle's death all along. However, as the detectives begin to probe her timeline from that day, Roxanne's composure slowly starts to crack.
Then what happened? Okay, from what you're telling me is the person was supposed to get a ride from you, but they didn't need a ride.
Right.
So you said you wanted to go to the park. You went to Brust Park, they're off 91 in Monroe Falls, did some exercising. If you went in the woods, fine. If you went on the trails, fine. Wherever you went, you're exercising. Okay? Then, after you were done exercising, you told me you went to Barberton to see Kiss. Okay?
I was also there that morning. Did you want the morning?
Sure. You say you were where? What? Morning?
I went to Kiss's house in the morning, too.
Okay. And then, so start back. About what time did you go down to Barberton?
Which time?
How many times did you go? You went 3 yesterday. What times did you go?
Around 1 in the morning. Around
Stand by.
8 in the morning,
Stand by.
around 1:30.
You went 1:30 in the morning, then what?
1 in the morning, 8 in the morning, and around 1:30.
1 in the
And I'm
morning, 8 in the morning.
guesstimating the time.
The timeline is crucial. Roxanne admitted to purchasing drugs 3 times that Friday at 1 a.m., 8 a.m., and again around 1:30 p.m. After her first purchase, Michelle likely caught her in the act, as she had messaged a Stowe police officer at 2:32 a.m., possibly intending to confront Roxanne about her escalating drug use. The last known communication between Michelle and the officer occurred 5 hours later, shortly after Roxanne's second drug purchase.
Which hand did you cut? This one. Your right hand?
Mm-hmm.
And that's your all 4 fingers?
Well, yeah, a little.
Which ones did they
These needed stitches.
Okay. So your ring and your pinky.
Yes.
Ring and pinky on left hand.
Yeah. I was trying to scrape. And it bounces back because it's like that. And that's
What bounces back?
the can. You flatten it out to scrape it. And then if you accidentally let it go, it bounces back. And I try to put it down like that, and that's when it got me.
And it's cut.
Yes.
All right. So you said there were 3 times. You said 8 a.m. What was the next time?
It was 1 o'clock in the morning-ish, right after I got paid, and then around 8-ish, and then around 1:30-ish.
And the 1:30 was the last time you went and saw it?
Yes.
Okay.
I was out of money then.
How much did you get each time?
About 40, 40, and then 80.
40, 40, and 80?
Yes.
Is that normal for you?
No, usually it's more. Sometimes it's more. I quit for a while, but he calls and hounds me. My ex-boyfriend was a big addict, and so it's not like an everyday thing. It's like a payday maybe thing.
So when you say 40, 40, and 80, is that a standard number of rocks or ounces or grams?
Dollars. He just gives me what he says is 40.
So how much is $80 worth?
About that big.
Yeah, is it just one rock or is it multiple?
Yeah, I cut it with my fingernail.
Yeah. Did you go with anybody to see Kiss any of these times?
Never.
So it's always by yourself? And did you use with anybody? Or you just used all 3 times yesterday?
It's a personal thing to me.
Okay. My point being, is there any witnesses that can verify your actions yesterday?
Besides him, no.
Okay. And what time did you go to the Burger King yesterday?
Right after I left the emergency.
So that was 2-ish, 3-ish?
No, it was after
It
4.
was after 4. And then you went home right after that?
Yes, I did.
And did you stay home the rest of the night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You've got some addiction problems you're dealing with, and that's an excuse why you weren't at the house for an extended period of time.
The detective keeps circling back to Roxanne's timeline, and for good reason. Something doesn't add up. She has no solid alibi, and her story about getting injured by an aluminum can sounds like a cover-up, especially since the wounds are suspiciously deep. But will a sharp dose of reality be enough to break through her defenses and stir her conscience?
Again, Roxanne, it's got to be the truth, okay? If you start telling half-truths, that equals a lie,
Okay.
all right? So it's real important. This is a serious matter, that only the truth. Now, if something happened here that you know about, now's the time to get in front of it. In fact, this is the only time you're going to be given the opportunity to get in front of it. If you know something that happened to Michelle, this is the time to do it, because it's when I've given your opportunity to become clean. If there is something to be told, if I give you the opportunity to come clean and you refuse it, that looks bad on you down the road. You understand? I'm not sure if I'm articulating clear enough. If a mistake happens, okay, if you know something that happened that you're trying to cover up, it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea to try to cover up for somebody. It's a bad idea if you made a mistake and try to cover that up. The only thing that's going to help you now is 100% truth, because the truth is never going to hurt you.
Right.
Okay? And when we're done with this conversation, you are going home. We are not holding you. Okay? You are not under arrest.
I don't.
There aren't
Don't
any
you need
charges.
to block it off?
Well, the guy, yeah. Well, the guys out there are going to be working. What I'm saying is, you're not going to be held here at the police department. There are no charges filed against you. In fact, you're free to go at any time. You're here voluntarily. You understand that, right?
I was out at the scene, around the house, looking around. I see all kinds of footprints. Can I see what kind of shoes do you have on? Okay, and those. Okay. I'm going to take a picture only because I was out there, the policeman with the boots are out there, and I need to know what kind of shoes are out there. So, actually, can you pop that shoe up? I'll go take a picture. See, I had to look at my shoes, and, everyone has different prints, so.
I walked out in that yard before.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, right there. But I have to be able to say, well, that's Roxanne's, that's mine, because I stepped there. So it's like putting a puzzle together, so. Give me a second. You don't walk the dog normally for her?
No.
I saw your footprints in the front yard. Would they be anywhere else in the yard?
In the front or the back?
I saw them in the front yard. Have you been walking around the backyard at all?
Yesterday when Michelle and I were smoking in the garage, she let the dog out.
Mm-hmm.
I had shoes on because I was going to pick up my friend, and she didn't. And the dog was hopping around and playing, so I tried to walk the plank, but, I probably got in the mud trying to get her.
Where?
There's a wooden plank. There's wood by the door.
Back door?
Yes.
Okay.
So I just tried to step on that, and I might have went off because my shoe was muddy.
Okay. If I could, I'd like to take a picture of both shoes together, and then I'll give you your shoes back on your feet. Oh, sorry. That's okay. That's okay. I will be back in a second. It probably sounds odd. Not in any trouble, okay? But I need to keep your shoes for just a little while. I'll go get you another pair of shoes at the house. Only because we have to eliminate prints, known prints. So I apologize. It's sort of a standard thing we do. You're not in any trouble, but I need to hang on to the shoes. I know, I'm sorry, I'm not going to keep them forever. Do you have another pair? I can go out to the house and grab them for you.
Yeah, but they're slippery.
Well, I'm not going to keep them forever, just a little bit. It's kind of an important thing.
Roxanne agrees to give her footprint, unaware that it will become a key piece of evidence used to pin her down. What she doesn't know is that the detectives have already secured the suspect's footprints and bloodstains scattered throughout her room. That evidence match alone is enough to directly link her to the crime, leaving little to no room for doubt. But she continues her game of manipulation, and soon she's about to make some more grave mistakes.
What was the last time that you saw Michelle alive?
Around 12:45 yesterday.
And that was Thursday or
Friday.
Friday? 12:45 Friday?
Yes.
And
I know the approximate time because I was supposed to pick my friend up from work, and she called between 12:30 and 12:45 to say she didn't need a ride.
Okay. And what was Michelle doing? What were you doing?
We took the dog out, and we were smoking in the garage, and she asked me if I was going to be working because I work at home, because she said she was having people over.
Okay.
And she didn't want to disturb me because I make calls and stuff.
Okay.
And I said, because at Fridays I usually blow off, because as long as I do 40 hours before Saturday night, I can, work whenever I want. So I told her no. And I said I was going to make myself scarce for a few hours so they can do whatever, because they're loud. When she has people over, they're pretty loud.
Who does she have over?
I don't know her friends. I stay downstairs unless I'm cooking or showering.
Okay. Do you work somewhere else besides Burger King?
Yeah, American Medical Response.
Okay. What do you do for them?
Billing and coding.
So Friday night at 5 o'clock, you're home, the dog's there, nobody else is there?
No.
Okay. And
She left the sink full of dishes and I washed them. If it helps, there was 2 of everything. They should be in the dish tray.
so she had left 2 dishes,
2 plates.
2 plates. Okay. What'd you do after that?
I took a nap and the dog started barking. So, I'm not, I know it sounds mean, but I'm not responsible for that dog. I don't do dogs. I'm a cat person.
Right.
So I didn't want to let her out the back because it was a muddy mess that morning when Michelle and I took her out. It took forever to wash that. I didn't feel like doing that. So I had my pajamas on. I just threw my coat on and went to take her for a walk.
What time?
I don't know. I took a nap and I was exhausted. So it was last night. You can ask the neighbor. She'll know what time. Because the dog got loose from me and she returned it.
This was Friday night?
Yes.
So Friday night the dog got loose?
Yes.
Is that when she ripped the stitches out?
No, that was this morning. And it wasn't ripped out. It just pulled it enough to bleed, and I was able, because I work for doctors' offices and stuff, I knew that it wasn't pulled or anything, so.
Okay, so Friday night you took the dog for a walk.
Yes, and Saturday morning, this morning.
And then you came back Friday night after walking the dog and
went to sleep. I went to bed because by that time I was up for a while and I was exhausted. And then the dog kept barking most of the night. I would just holler, and then one time I opened the door and put the gate so she could look out. That didn't work. She kept barking. So I didn't sleep much.
Roxanne had been treading carefully until, like many criminals, she slipped up. And her first mistake? Claiming her injury was severe enough to require stitches, yet somehow returning home and casually washing dishes. That just doesn't add up. Then comes her shaky story about the dog. She struggles to explain what she was doing at that time, but detectives had already spoken to a neighbor who reported seeing her shooing the dog in the backyard, the very spot where Michelle's body was found. The detectives will soon realize that Roxanne, behind her lies, she's hiding something much bigger and darker.
Oh, a 12-ounce can.
like pop can?
Yes.
Okay.
You poke holes in the top, and then you poke a hole towards the end, and then you put ashes on there, and then you put that on the ashes.
It didn't bother you, or at that time that you just got done smoking, and now you're going to go to the hospital, you don't get nervous about that?
I lied to them.
Okay.
I told them I was walking down the stairs with my lunch and had a knife here and a dinner plate here, and that I fell and grabbed the railing. But they looked at me funny because it's not cut like that. It's more like a circular can.
So you're saying, show me how to cut your finger. We're supposed to shake. Like if you draw a finger.
I took pictures.
Did that? Okay. Show me on this being your pinky and your next finger.
This one's here.
Okay.
And this one's here.
Alright. Did you get stitches or anything?
Yes.
What do you think's going on in the house right now? What do you
I
have?
suppose they're processing it like they do on TV.
Okay. You understand that when that's done, that, you know, I'll be honest with you, the agency it's coming is BCI, the Bureau of Criminal Investigation.
Yes.
Okay. We use them because they're very thorough. Okay. You know, they're going to collect everything that's there. We're going to do a search warrant in the house. We're going to collect everything in there. We're going to, you know, so all that stuff gets collected and gets processed, and you know, we do the cop thing like you see on TV. It doesn't happen as quick as it happens on TV, but it does happen. And then we got 20 officers working on this right now. Okay. You know, it's kind of ironic that you have cuts on your fingers.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know how it looks.
You know, I'll be honest with you, it's hard for me to understand how, you know, you're going to cut your hand and you just got done smoking. You're going to drive to a hospital where they probably got to do blood tests, maybe.
No.
You know, that kind
I
of
knew
stuff.
they wouldn't.
Okay.
But I've had stitches before.
I've never met you. I've never met Michelle. What size of woman is she?
I liked her. She's funny. Mostly courteous, unless she's been drinking. I liked her well. I didn't know her that much. I knew her as a baby, and then I knew her now. There's like 20 years in between. But I liked her. She wasn't very judgmental either, because I know she knew. I know her mom and must have talked to her about things, but she never said nothing.
What, her appearance, was she a larger woman, skinny woman? I don't know what she looks
Michelle's petite.
like. Okay.
Like her mom.
Okay.
A little thicker than her mom. But she took care of herself. She liked to run.
The detectives thought talking about Michelle will trigger some emotion or guilt in her, but nothing breaks through her calmness. At this point, it's clear that Roxanne wants to play it tough. Now, the detectives shift to an evidence-based interrogation to push her for the truth she's so desperately trying to conceal.
I've been a cop 24 years. Okay, so I've done this a long time. What I understand is you were home. She passed away at your home. But you're pretty much home the whole time.
Yes.
You have a cut on your hand. You were using drugs.
Yes.
She's a small woman.
She's a strong woman.
Sure.
I've seen her move. Yeah.
You see the difficulty that's come from my eyes?
I do. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I was very forthcoming. So,
But once again, how do I? You were home. I mean, obviously, the coroner, BCI, they're going to be able to pinpoint exactly when her body, when she basically took her last breath, how long she's deceased, how long she's been laying there. We're going to be able to tell. Obviously, it's not going to be right away, but we're going to be able to tell that. I've done this. I know what happens. Okay.
okay.
We're going to know what's in her body, what she was taking, all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk to neighbors. We're going to do all that kind of stuff. Once again, if I look past all that stuff, it just amazes me that she was alive on Friday, sometimes 12:45ish, I think was the last time, until late this afternoon. And you pretty much were home that whole time.
On and on, yeah. Well, today, most of the time.
Right. So, it's kind of hard to. How does she get put there? How does, I mean.
I don't know.
Okay.
There was nothing inside the house that said anything. I don't know.
Is there blood inside the house?
Not that I see.
When you come home from the hospital, you said you did the dishes because it was a mess.
Yeah.
So you cut your fingers
Mm-hmm.
and you do dishes.
I went to Burger King too and did dishes today.
Okay. Do you put a glove on or how? Or you
Just the bandage. They said it was okay to get wet.
okay.
Roxanne was home for most of the time when the incident occurred. So even if someone else had committed the crime, there's no way she wouldn't have noticed something happening just a few feet away. Her blunt denial doesn't just raise suspicion, it screams guilt.
How are you feeling right now? What's going on inside you?
I'm tired.
I'm sure.
I'm confused.
What are you confused about?
Um,
Are you scared?
No, I'm not scared. Frustrated a little because he said I could go home and that was 4 hours. I'd like to be with my brother because I feel alone.
Sure.
So that confuses me that she said she was going to get my shoes and I never got them. And I know that all sounds selfish. I know it does. But my brain just feels like shutting down because it doesn't know what to think.
But you understand it.
I know that. I know. I do. I understand. It just doesn't make it any better here.
Did you harm Roxanne? Or Michelle?
No, I did not.
You didn't harm her.
No.
Who did?
I don't know.
I mean, you paint a picture of a woman whose seems to be pretty nice. She wanted to be a police officer. Now, granted,
Yeah.
I don't know who she ran with, but her mom, from what I'm being told, paints a pretty good picture of her.
And she partied some, but I don't think overly excessive for 21.
Okay.
So I don't know.
But so once again, you have these cuts on your hand. You have an issue with her dog. You don't like her because the OCD stuff.
Yeah, but none of that is worth nothing. It's just
Well-
petty complaints.
Okay. sometimes it paints a bigger picture, though.
I mean, I deal with those frustrations by calling my son and my brother, Amanda, Facebook.
Why did you start using drugs again? You said you were kind of clean there for a while.
It was just stress. My son was gone. You know, he was in New York over the holidays. It was a little depressing. So I just did.
Well, what made you decide to use Friday? What was the catalyst? What was the trigger?
There was really no trigger. I knew that next week's pay wasn't going to go towards any partying or anything because I was going to pay off my 401k loan so I can recycle it. And so I figured I just got a little teeny pay. I might as well. I was up. There was no trigger.
When's the last time you went out in the backyard?
Yesterday to get the dog.
So I'm talking maybe Friday? What time was that about again?
That was around noonish when I was still in the bathroom, and I heard Michelle and the dog. I'm like, well, I'm going to come out of the bathroom, so I shouldn't think I'm doing nothing, because that's where I hide, and Diane knows that. So I'm just talking to her, and she had her slippers on, and the dog is doing its romp thing, and usually she goes out there, but I already had my shoes on. So I just went, grabbed her by the collar, pulled her in. We played tug-of-war with a towel. Michelle cleaned her up. We smoked a cigarette.
Oh, Roxanne, you know what? I've interviewed probably hundreds of people, okay, in my career. And there is a dead woman in your backyard.
I know.
That somebody used to live with you, and you act like it's nothing.
I am not acting like that. And
Could
if
you
it
show me
seems
zero
that
emotion?
way, I'm not good at that. I never have been. Like, I didn't even cry at my father's funeral or my mom's.
Roxanne remains eerily cold about Michelle's death, showing not even a flicker of grief. She is more desperate to go home than to cooperate in finding Michelle's killer. Some might say that's just the way she is. After all, she didn't shed a single tear when her own parents passed away. But emotional detachment isn't proof of innocence. What matters is evidence, and so far, Roxanne has none in her favor.
I don't know how to process it yet. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. There's no timeline on this. I don't know what to think. And I've been here for 6 hours.
Sure.
With only sporadic sleep on and off. I don't know what to think. I've never dealt with this type of thing before. So, I mean, if I could cry on a dime, I would. I can't do that. I don't know what to do.
Well, it's not normal. I mean, most people be pretty emotional, I would think. Most people. We're all different. You know, I be honest with you, I don't think you're being truthful with me. I think you know a little bit more than what you want to tell me. And I don't understand why. I really don't. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes.
I make a lot of mistakes.
Sure, and so do
I don't make that kind of mistake. I am not a violent person. And I understand why you're looking at me that way and why you think that. I know that. I understand coming from you. But you don't know me.
Correct. But that's why I look at facts. I look at what's already, you have a cut on your hand. You're home when if I get my next paycheck that when she took her last breath, you were there.
No. They said she died violently. I would have heard something like that.
Okay. Well, if you last saw her yesterday, and she was found this afternoon, and you pretty much were home the whole time, minus the dog issue. You understand where I'm
And
going?
the ER hours and stuff. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, a lot of my time is spent. I am telling you the truth.
Did you get the cut on your hands from a knife or
No, from a can.
Because the doctor will be able to tell us that.
They will tell you I got it, that I said I got it from a knife.
No, they can tell what cuts are from.
Okay.
Whether from a can or from a knife or from a razor or, anytime you go into the hospital for stitches or something like that, they ask you how it happens, okay? And then they can tell from their professional opinion what it looks like how it happens.
Then ask them.
Okay. Well, we will be doing that.
Okay.
Part of the other problem is, you said you weren't in the garage other than smoke, but your footprint, or part of your footprint, is in some of the blood that's in the garage.
Okay.
So how did that get there? Why would there be blood in the garage if you weren't bleeding in the garage?
I don't know.
It wasn't just the bloody footprint in the garage. Detectives also uncovered 32 blood spots scattered throughout Roxanne's bedroom. And if that wasn't enough, forensic analysis revealed Roxanne's DNA under Michelle's fingernails, a chilling sign of a violent struggle. At this point, the evidence doesn't just point to Roxanne. It's on its way to be her behind bars. The truth can no longer be ignored as detectives prepare to confront her with the damning evidence found in both her bedroom and her car.
I didn't see any blood. I don't usually wear these contact lenses. I wear glasses that are 3 years old when I'm at home. I don't know.
And these are all questions that come up to us, okay? Mainly, you're home almost the whole time, other than a couple hours here and there.
I'm always home. Except for a couple hours here and there.
And you're telling us you're buying, okay? Is there somebody else we should be looking at?
No.
Is there someone that came to the house, maybe brought your
People, no.
Did Michelle catch you doing in the bathroom? Maybe there were some words said
No.
or something.
She wouldn't have said nothing anyway. She's not that kind. She would have just told her mom.
When I started to ask you a question about your footprint and your shoe was in the blood, your immediate answer was your contacts were 3-year-old contact. I've had contacts since I'm in 4th grade. I've never had an issue where I couldn't see enough to wear.
That's because I'm getting frustrated. Because
it's just an answer to a question.
but I've been here so long when I told I said everything I know to say. Everything I've done. I told you the truth.
So your answer to your footprint being in some blood is because your contacts.
He asked me how I didn't know.
Okay.
That's how I didn't know.
You didn't see
I
blood
didn't
on the ground
see.
because your contacts.
I didn't see blood on the ground. Probably because of my contacts. I'm not paying attention. I don't pay attention. I do 1,000 times a day. So yes, now I'm getting a little defensive because put yourself in my shoes.
Well, I do. I sit here. I think if I'm sitting there, what do I want this officer to say to me? And that's how I come up with questions. Okay. You know, people think all police officers want to do is arrest people. We actually want to help people. There are points along the road where we can help people. And right now, you're at that point.
I did not do this.
You didn't do what?
Hurt her.
Well, you live in their house.
I know. I
You
live
gotta hear what
downstairs.
goes on. We've been in those apartments. I mean, there isn't much space between the walls that you don't
When
hear
I'm
what's
working,
going
I put
on.
headphones on with my computer, so I'm just trying to.
Yeah, but I'm saying when they have people over upstairs and you're sitting downstairs, I'm sure you can hear what they're talking about, who's over, if it's a male, if it's a female, or what's going on. Those apartments aren't built that well.
Yes, but I don't know who they are. I've heard of people there. I think it was last Tuesday. She had a male and a female over. Because I asked them to keep it down because I was off. She didn't know I was off. Until she brought the dog through, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were home because I work at night." But the only time she introduces me is if I go up to cook something and they're there. I don't remember their names.
Roxanne keeps insisting she knows nothing about the bloody footprints, nothing about the blood in her room, nothing at all. But the detectives aren't buying her act. No matter how much she denies, it does not change reality. Now they're narrowing in, pressing on every detail of her story, exposing inconsistencies and tearing apart her version of events. The deeper they dig, the more the holes start to show, and Roxanne's carefully made up story begins to unravel.
How much did you bleed? Because I wrote here in my notes. Just
Not that much.
And where did you bleed at?
Right by the front door when I was taking the dog out.
You can see our concern and why we're looking at you,
I know.
because you've been home most of the time.
I didn't try to hide any of that either. I could have tried that. But I didn't know if you were going to do a blood test or not. And it was such a little thing.
If there's anything you want to tell us,
No.
now's the time to do it, because now's the time when we can best help you, okay? Because if the evidence starts piling up, okay, it's going to be a lot more difficult for us to be able to help. Okay? When someone comes forward on their own, when they've done something that, whether they intended to do it or whether it was a fit of rage or whether, whatever caused it,
Never had a fit of rage in my life.
without any remorse, okay, there's not a whole lot we can do. But when someone tells us, on their own, without us saying we got this evidence, this evidence, this evidence, this evidence, all this mounting up, it's going to be too late by then. Right now is the time,
I didn't
you want to help yourself.
do this.
You didn't do what?
I didn't hurt her.
Well, she's dead.
I know.
So what do you, I don't understand. You say you didn't hurt her. She's dead.
I didn't kill her either. I haven't dealt a lot with death. Just my parents, and that was late in life, and that's it. I don't know how to deal. I don't know how to talk about a deceased person. I don't even talk about my parents after years, 10 years. I don't do death that well.
When we start talking to some people around you, well, I'm sure we're going to talk to Diane, some of the neighbors, and we're going to try and dig into your background a little bit. Talk to people that know you. Is there anybody that's going to say that you have a violent
Not
past
a
or,
soul.
anything that's going to lead us back to talking to you?
Not a soul.
Now, Roxanne drops the act and goes on the offensive. She boldly challenges the detectives, claiming they'll never find enough evidence to pin her down. She believes she can simply walk away from it all. This is often a common reaction when a guilty person realizes that their defense has no more legs to stand on. But what she doesn't realize is that the detectives already know more than she thinks. With all the things she's already done, Roxanne pretending to be the innocent one is just unbelievable.
Honestly, we've been in here for a little bit. I don't know. Honestly, the time. Obviously, BCI's been outside or out the house processing the scene. Okay.
That's who that came in and take the
Yeah.
picture.
I saw her shirt.
Yeah, but she's not the only one. There's, obviously a bunch of people out there. I don't know how many because I'm not out there, but they already determined that the incident took place in your bedroom.
What?
Okay? You need to be honest and upfront with me right now. Roxanne, it has to stop right now. The lies have to stop right now.
No.
You have to start talking to me.
No.
It's not about no.
I didn't kill Michelle.
There is cleanup. They found it. They're going over the blue light. They're going to be told where the blood was diluted.
I
It's underneath your bed.
didn't do that.
Roxanne, it's in your bedroom.
I wasn't there.
They
I
know where
didn't
she
do
was
that.
That's what we just sat down and talked to her. It's in your bedroom. You were home. You need to be honest with me right now. It needs to stop.
I
You need to
wasn't
help
home.
yourself.
I did not do this.
They're going to find out. They're going to put everything together.
Didn't do
This
this.
is the point where you need to help yourself. We can only help you right now.
I did not do this.
How do you explain? It's in your bedroom, Roxanne.
I don't know how to explain it.
And the cut's on your hand.
I know that.
When you do this motion, it's very common. Somebody tries to stab somebody, your hand slips, you cut your fingers. You cut the exact same fingers, which is 99% of the time when there's a stabbing, that's what the kind of wounds you get. Roxanne, you got to be truthful with us right now.
I am being truthful with you. I did not do this.
So what? Somebody snuck in a house, hurt her violently in your bedroom where you were at working.
Not yesterday. I wasn't working.
Roxanne, you got to be truthful with me, and you're not. I can tell. I can tell. I've been doing this job long enough. I can tell.
I didn't do this.
How'd the stuff get
I
there?
don't know.
You don't know because you don't want to tell me the truth.
No, I don't know.
Roxanne, this is not the way it should be going.
No,
You
it
need to
is.
help yourself. You need to be honest with me. I'm telling you.
I think I do.
That's how we're going to end it?
I don't know what to say. I keep telling you the same thing, and it's the truth.
Well, the absolute truth will come out. There's no question. We're done. You're asking for an attorney. I can't question you any further. This was your golden opportunity.
Can I call my brother?
The detectives have done their job well, cornering Roxanne with solid evidence. Realizing her repeated denials are falling flat, she stops trying to talk her way out and finally asks for a lawyer, which is another common attempt by those who are guilty and know that their lies have failed them. But this isn't over. On March 19th, 2014, detectives brought her back for another round of interrogation. And this time, they're not just looking for answers. They're determined to break through her lies and extract the confession they've been closing in on from the start.
You missed anything? You told us the first time or something was wrong or anything like that?
My sister-in-law told me to think really hard about everything.
Because, we've been busy since then, okay? And like I told you the other night when I talked to you that morning, I know it's late, we've been checking everything out, okay? And there's quite a few holes in some of the things you've been telling us. We've got some information from neighbors, from other people that we've talked to, okay, that indicates you're not being totally truthful with us, okay? Now, there was a neighbor that called, and this has been all over the news as far as, Michelle, okay, that they saw you in the backyard Saturday morning chasing the dog, trying to shoot him back into the house. Why would they tell us that?
I have no idea.
But you were in the backyard at all?
On Saturday, no.
How about Friday?
Yes,
Well,
because the dog wouldn't come back in.
I thought you said you guys were in the garage.
I said this Saturday too. I said it to your other
I was here.
workers. Yes. That she was wearing slippers.
Right.
And the dog was being a puppy and jumping back and forth, and I was already dressed to pick up Amanda. So I went out and grabbed her by the collar and brought her back in.
How do you feel since she's dead?
I hurt for her mother.
What do you think about all this?
I don't know what to think.
And what do you think should happen to when we get the person that's done this? What do you think should happen?
I don't know. Because I don't know the situation.
Well, she was violently murdered in your bedroom, next to your bed, with her blood on your possessions, and her blood in your car, and her blood on your shoes.
Her blood was in my car.
I believe we're going to find that out, and that we can't explain away, unless you can come up with some truths. And if that happens, that can only lead us to one conclusion.
Said I could have my car back today.
No, I said, I could have it back as soon as we get it released from the DCI.
But there's still evidentiary value to that for us, and things that we can't explain, which we were kind of hoping maybe you could help us with. I mean, look at it from our point of view.
I do.
Sure.
I even told them Saturday I do.
There's no reason for Michelle's blood to be in your car. What are we supposed to do when they call us and say that it is in your car?
I don't know.
I mean, nobody else uses your car, correct?
You said there was blood in my room. Could it have gotten on my bag? Is it on my bag?
It's all over your room.
Yes, but was it on my bag in the car?
You mean the paper bag or whatever, or
Red.
that carry bag?
It's red.
Where was the carry bag kept?
On my dresser.
There was a lot of blood. Okay. There's two types of blood that was in there. Okay, we know that much so far. Now, part of that process, we'll probably find out sometime tomorrow. Hopefully by tomorrow afternoon. If any of that blood is yours, if any of her blood is connected with it.
Or on your stuff, and your clothes, and your shoes.
Now, if that happens tomorrow, there's nothing we can do to help you. You will talk to us today and tell us what happened. We can help you as much as we can. But
We think we can explain away some of this stuff if you'll just let us know what happened. You know, we can fill in some of the blanks and see how some of this stuff goes. But we can't do that until you start to open up and let us know. And I think it is a burden on you. And I think you do want to tell somebody. And I think you do want to let go.
Roxanne's confidence takes a serious hit when detectives drop the bombshell that Michelle's blood was found in her car and on her bag. She clearly did not expect such evidence, and for the first time, she's visibly shaken. But the detectives aren't just after signs of guilt. They want the full truth, so they keep pushing, determined to get the closure Michelle's family deserves.
even if you guys weren't close or you weren't close with Diana, it's another human being. And it's a young being that took a very violent turn. And you don't seem like a bad person. Goofy people have, they're living humans, loving people.
Amusing.
I mean, was she goofy enough
No, she's
when you said?
amusing.
I mean,
I like to be amused.
did that bother you?
No, I do. I love it. That's one of my favorite things for the past 20 years is I love to be amused.
But you hear what I'm saying? Is that
Yes.
that we're trying to help in her memory, give closure to Diana for losing her daughter, help you if there was something that happened that night, that we can explain through. And down the road, people that take responsibility for what they do always do better than those that deny until the very end, when nobody can help. Who do you think did?
Can I go now?
Well, like we told you before,
The anytime you want.
right, we're not holding you here. You're not under arrest or anything like that. We're actually, believe it or not, and people don't believe it, we're actually trying to help you.
Is your blood pressure people still here?
We can get connected to a fire department. You need a blood pressure check?
I don't know. I'm shaking.
Roxanne's voice trembles, and she struggles to keep her composure. She even requests a blood pressure check, claiming she feels unwell. But is this genuine distress of getting caught, or just another tactic to stall the interrogation and gain sympathy? Either way, the question remains, how long can she keep evading justice?
Is there any more questions?
We just want you to help yourself.
And help us understand.
Unburden yourself. Get it off your chest. Just tell us what happened. You're going to feel a lot better. You'll be able to.
Even if it's in a moment of weakness and you just go crazy, stuff like that can still be explained.
I know that. Social work, remember?
Yeah, exactly. You should know. And that happens all the time. And those aren't bad people. There's bad situations and bad moments. There's lots of bad moments in life. And don't let one bad moment, ruin a whole life. And the beginning of that is kind of right here.
If I had money, I would have had somebody illegally to speak with by now.
Yeah. And how would that help you, though? I mean, what would you tell them that you can't tell us?
Because they could just tell me what to say.
Well, you know what to say.
No.
I think you do know what to say. And what do you say?
And how to act.
You tell the truth. You can't go wrong by telling the truth.
I know. Well,
You can do a terrible, terrible thing, and when you lie about it, the lies become as bad as what happened. When you tell the truth, that negates part of the badness because you take responsibility for it. Yes, this happened. This is what I did. This is why I did it. And people can understand that. When you lie about it, and then down the road somebody finds out about the lies, which always happens, people always find out. The truth always comes out in the end, they say.
yes.
And it does.
And then the proof comes out in the lab results, and it puts you right where you're not supposed to be, and then it looks like you're lying all along. Whereas you can let it
Just
out.
think what it means to people if you come out and tell the truth on your own without being prompted. It's all on you. That speaks volumes and says tremendous amount about the person that you are. When you can take responsibility, yes, we're not going to lie to you. We're realists here. There's going to be consequences. Things are going to happen. There's no doubt about that. But those consequences and those things that happen can be minimized
And they
by
can
the
happen under your control, and not by the prosecutor or anybody else.
or having somebody tell you what happened and proving that this is what happened, and you still won't say, those are all bad juju things. When you come out with the truth on your own, again, that speaks volumes about the kind of person you are. And down the road to judges, to juries, to everybody else that's involved with this thing all the way down the road, that says a lot. That helps a lot. That gives people so much more faith in you. Again, I don't know you. I don't think you're a bad person at all. I think something happened. Again, that was a moment of very, very bad stuff happened. But that can all be overcome. It's not the end of the world. I can't minimize it because, it was a bad thing. But we can do damage control. At this point here, we're able to do damage control.
That's what they said Saturday.
And you can
And
tell,
that hasn't gone anywhere. That hasn't really changed
you
anything.
can tell it your side. You You can tell it your way rather than us,
Putting the story to you.
the lab technicians and the prosecutor going, well, this is what happened, and this is what happened, and this is what happened. When in all reality, you can say, no, this is what happened,
And this is why.
and this is
And this
why,
is how.
and this is why it took place.
And if we have to put the story together to tell you how it happened or tell everybody else how it happened, and that's not how it did happen, and you know, and then now you want to tell what happened, that's when people say, well, she didn't, why didn't she say that right up front? Why should we believe her now when she wouldn't come forward before and say it? What makes you think that, you guys showed what happened, blah, blah, blah. Now she's come up with a story? At this point in time, you're the story. This all comes from you. And we can, I know it's hard to believe, and you're listening to me and you don't know me, but we can we can explain lots of things away. And we can actually help.
When the facts come out, the true facts come out, and the lab tests come back, it's going to be too late for us to be able to get your story out the way that it should be right now, without any proof, without
And help you through it.
anything pushing you through it. This is going to be on your own free will.
The detectives shift their tone and offer Roxanne a reality check, not as enemies, but as people who just want the truth. Oftentimes, changing the tone of interrogation from a heated demand to a softer request can cause suspects to let down their guard and admit the truth. It is an appeal to her inner humanity and whatever remainder of a moral compass she might have. As she sits in heavy silence, the weight of it all pressing down on her, and just when it seems she's on the verge of confessing, she says something that leaves the detectives completely stunned.
And I didn't want to sound cold or anything, but I have to go to work.
That's okay.
Would you like to do that?
That's legitimate.
Would you like to do that on a clean conscience, or would you like to carry this burden with you even longer?
I just like to work.
And work's an outlet, right?
Always.
What else is an outlet? Relieving yourself of burden.
So, can I go to work now?
Sure.
Unfortunately, the detectives were left without the confession they'd fought so hard for. But that didn't mean Roxanne would walk free. When it came time to face the jury, the detectives made sure she didn't get off easy. Roxanne Buck was officially charged with murder and tampering with evidence, and on October 21st, 2014, justice was finally served. Roxanne was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison for murder, along with an additional 3 years for tampering with evidence.